She slammed the door behind her, rainwater dripping from her hair onto the floor. "I can't do this anymore," Liora shouted, her voice echoing through the empty house. The papers were in her hands, divorce papers she had been terrified to sign, but tonight, something inside her snapped. She had to know the truth, no matter the consequences. The man she had lived with for 3 years, the man she called her husband, looked up from the couch, his face calm but unreadable. "Liora," he said softly, "are you sure this is what you want?" "I'm done pretending," she said, her hands trembling. "Every day it feels like I don't even know you anymore." He leaned back, silent. The tension in the room was suffocating. Liora could feel her pulse racing, her chest tight with fear and frustration. "You're not going to stop me," she added, her voice breaking. Finally, he spoke, his tone almost casual. "I guess I'm not." That casualness made her blood run cold. She grabbed her bag and started moving toward the door, but something made her pause. A drawer she had never opened before, her curiosity and dread battling inside her, drew her closer. She opened it slowly. Inside were photos, wedding photos, honeymoon snapshots. But as her eyes scanned them, her heart froze. The man smiling beside her in the pictures wasn't him. His eyes were different. His smile, it wasn't the same. Panic gripped her chest. She turned slowly, and he was standing behind her, watching, smiling. That smile didn't belong to the man she thought she had married. "Who are you?" she whispered, barely audible, her hands clutching the papers. "If you're not my husband, who are you?" He didn't answer at first. He just stepped closer, his eyes fixed on hers. "You shouldn't have found those," he said finally, his voice low, almost apologetic. "Found them?" she shouted, backing away. "Those are my memories, my life." Her hands shook violently as she waved the papers. "I trusted you. I loved you. And now I don't even know who I've been living with." His face softened slightly, a strange mix of regret and urgency. "I never meant to hurt you. You didn't mean to hurt me?" she cut in, tears streaming down her face. "Every day with you has been a lie. Every smile, every touch, it was all fake." He flinched at her words, but his voice stayed calm. "It wasn't all fake. Not to me. Not once." Her knees felt weak. "What do you mean, not once?" He paused, as if choosing his words carefully. "Everything I did, I was trying to protect you." Liora laughed bitterly through her tears. "Protect me? You've been lying to me for years, protecting me, or playing some twisted game." He took a step closer. "It wasn't a game. I couldn't tell you the truth. You wouldn't have believed me. But now that you know." Her hands shook harder. "Know what? That you're not my husband? That my whole life has been a lie?" "Yes." He nodded slowly, his expression solemn. "I couldn't be your husband, but I had to be here. For your safety." She stepped back, her mind reeling. "Safety?" she repeated, her voice cracking. "From what? From who?" He looked away, a shadow passing across his face. "From things you weren't supposed to see. People who would have hurt you to get to him." "Who?" she demanded, rage mixing with fear. "What are you talking about?" He met her eyes again, a flicker of pain in them. "The real man you married. He's gone, and I took his place, to protect you." Liora felt like the floor had disappeared beneath her. "You... what?" Her voice was a whisper now, disbelief and terror warring inside her. "All this time, you weren't even him?" He stepped closer, gently reaching for her hand. She flinched, but didn't move away completely. "I never wanted to lie to you," he said. "But I had no choice. And I didn't expect to care about you the way I do now." Her chest tightened. She wanted to scream, to run, to throw the papers at him and demand answers. But the fear and the confusion made her pause. Every memory she had with him, smiles, arguments, quiet nights, was suddenly tangled with doubt. You love me?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "Yes," he admitted, his eyes searching hers. "Not as a replacement, not as a lie, but because I couldn't help it. I fell in love with you." Leora's tears fell freely now. Her hands were still clutching the papers, but she didn't throw them. Instead, she sank to the floor, shaking. This is insane," she whispered. "How am I supposed to believe anything anymore?" He knelt beside her carefully, keeping his distance. "You don't have to believe me now. Just know that everything I did was to keep you safe. That's all that matters." She buried her face in her hands, sobbing. "I don't even know who I am anymore," she whispered. He stayed silent, letting her emotions run their course. The room was heavy with tension, fear, and the unbearable weight of secrets finally uncovered. Her phone buzzed with a notification, and she glanced at it. Another reminder of the life she thought she had, now completely shattered. She looked back at him, anger and confusion mixing with something else. Curiosity, fear, and a faint spark of hope. "Wait," she said, finally looking up. "If what you're saying is true, what happens now?" He didn't answer. He just reached into his pocket, holding something that glinted faintly in the dim light. But before he could speak, she heard a sudden knock at the door, loud, urgent. Both froze. "Who is that?" Liora whispered. He shook his head. "I don't know. But you need to stay calm. Whatever happens, you stay here." She stared at him, fear and suspicion warring with a strange trust that had somehow survived the lies. Her mind raced, heart pounding. Do you promise I won't get hurt?" she asked, voice trembling. He nodded, serious, unwavering. "I promise. Just don't leave." Leora's hands tightened around the divorce papers. She didn't know what to do next. Her life had been a lie. And yet, somehow, she felt herself being pulled into the unknown truth waiting behind those walls. Her voice shook, but she managed to say, "Everyone watching, make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. I need to know what you think is going to happen next." She looked at him one last time before the screen fades, the tension unbearable. The storm outside mirrored the chaos in her heart.